And welcome back to SHOT Show TV. I am Bob Fryer. We got our friend Robyn Sandoval from A Girl and a Gun. It is so good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You know, I was watching some of your videos, and one of my favorite thing that you said was when a man shoots, it's a hobby. Mm-hmm. But when a woman shoots, it becomes a family issue. It becomes about safety. It becomes about lifestyle. It becomes all of these things. And that sort of, without putting words in your mouth, encapsulates what A Girl and a Gun is kind of all about.
Absolutely. Okay. We want women to come out off the sidelines of their lives. So often men will go out. And back when we started A Girl and a Gun in 2011, more men were getting women into shooting. It was either their fathers or their husbands or their sons. And
but
now
you noticed something. You noticed there was, at these events, women on the sidelines watching.
Yes, because they would be there cheering on their spouses or their husbands or their fathers. And we would say, why aren't you shooting? Oh, no, I'm just here to support him. So we're like, let's get you off the sidelines. Let's get you geared up. Why don't you try it? See if you like it. And so we just created opportunities for them to do it. And we noticed that once women were doing it, nowadays women are the first person in their home that is a shooter. They're bringing the men of their households in. But it is part of the family lifestyle. When a woman is a shooter, you talk about it with the children. It's part of the family budget. It's part of the family lifestyle. Gun carrying, gun safety, all of that. Those issues and topics are really important to women, and we talk about them all the time and welcome those conversations.
But you had to knock down that barrier 14 years ago. You weren't into shooting, correct?
Correct.
Not really.
Yeah.
And then you had to cross over into that gun store that might be a little intimidating, and you didn't have that friendly face on the other side. What got you to do that?
Well, A Girl and a Gun is really fantastic at that. That we are that friendly face on the other side of the door.
Now you are.
Yes, we are. And so we try to be everything that we didn't have when we were new shooters. Those RSOs that don't scream at you, but give you good correction in a moment of a teaching moment, that don't discourage a woman from walking away from firearms forever. We try to gear her with guns that don't hurt her or scare her. You know, here's something with a reasonable trigger press and a good grip size for her so that she finds success earlier. So many of these, TikTok videos, you'll see these girls falling down with a shotgun and these boys laughing and these and I say boys because they set these women up for failure. They're not going to love shooting. They're not going to love the experience.
Right.
But when we give them the right gear and we give them the right support and we talk them through those emotions or the insecurities or the lack of knowledge, and we teach them it's more about technique than strength, then they find this inner confidence, and then they can be successful and love shooting and want to be a part of it.
And that's where your motto comes from. It's not just about shooting, right? Yeah. It's not just about shooting. So it's more about empowering.
Yeah. So our motto is it's more than shooting.
More than shooting.
And that came from actually back in 2015, my daughter was diagnosed with brain cancer. She had just turned 5 years old. She was rushed into emergency surgery, and I thought we were going to lose her, and it was terrifying. My life stopped. My priority's my baby,
course,
and so I'm in ICU with her. And these women, I really feel like all these women were brought together, the strongest, confident, empowered, armed, faith-filled women. They were there because they're gun girls.
Yeah.
And that allowed us to bond as mothers, daughters, sisters, friends, protectors.
Yeah.
And so they were there for me. They would cease fire on the range, send me texts. They would be supportive for me. And I really feel like it was pretty serendipitous of how it all came together. And
part of a plan. I mean, you created your own support system.
Yeah. And I'm so lucky to watch the journey of all these women because so many of them have experienced a cancer journey.
Yeah.
And now they see how my family dealt with it. And they find so much support in that, in the community, knowing that they can be inspired by other women. They can share their stories. We actually have a target with different cancer awareness ribbons, and the girls can shoot cancer and stop that threat. Because often when there's something in someone you love, you can't stop it. And that's so hard for someone who's a protector to want to stop that threat. So we have a target, and we talk about it a lot, letting people stop that threat on that target, shoot that target, share their stories, and it's very empowering.
Stopping that threat, that was sort of the impetus for you, correct? When you started A Girl and a Gun, you'd seen Hurricane Katrina, and you were starting to think, what if my family was in this sort of position?
Yeah.
Is that how it started?
Yeah, I was watching the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina from Austin, Texas, safe, watching it, and I saw this mother at the Superdome who was so scared and didn't know what to do, and she gave her 2 small children to strangers getting on a bus to Houston, and she said, I'll try to find you in a few days. And my heart broke for her. I couldn't imagine handing my children to strangers, and so I turned to my husband and I was like, what do I have to do that's never me? And so I had this great plan to store tuna fish and peanut butter, and we were just going to hunker down. If Hurricane Katrina hit Austin, we'll just stay together. And he said, if people are that desperate and there's no infrastructure and there's no 911 and people are literally on their own, someone's going to break in our door for our peanut butter and tuna fish and any other supplies we have. How am I going to stop them? And it wasn't until a friend, Juliana Crowder, was a firearms instructor. She decided to host Girls Night Out at the range. It was in February 28th, 2011. And she brought her guns and she said, if anyone wants to come out to Girls Night Out at the range, come on out. And so my husband heard about it.
Yeah.
because we had purchased our first firearm, and I thought we'll never touch this thing. It'll stay in a safe until there's like catastrophic incident.
Sure.
I'll never touch it. But I was scared of it, and I thought it was going to come out of the safe on its own and grow legs and injure everyone. So he said, you can't be afraid of it. Why don't you go to this event? So he RSVP'd for me to go. I didn't even sign up. He said, I told him you were coming. So I show up at this range, this dirty gun range with all these men. And I don't know if I'm more scared of walking in the door, meeting these women, shooting the gun, just completely out of my element. And so now, what that did was, though, it opened the door to so many resources, not just learning how to use this tool of a firearm, not just learning the knowledge and skills to protect myself and my family, but having this resource of other women to say, how do you talk to your kids about guns? How do you store your guns? What if people at work know that you're shooting? All these things, all these questions I had coming new into this lifestyle. And now we are that resource for people. And now we host Girls Night Out at the range at more than 350 ranges across the country.
That's what I want to talk about. Let's move on to A Girl and a Gun, some of the specifics. It is amazing in 14 years how you've gone from you walking into that dirty gun range to 350 chapters?
Yes, we trained 45,000 women last year.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing really great work. I'm so lucky to have an amazing team. We have a cadre of professional, credentialed instructors, all women across the country that want to share their knowledge with other women.
Right.
So they make it a fun, approachable girls' night out at the range. You don't have to have a gun. You don't have to know anything. Just come.
Okay, well, let's talk about that while we're here.
Yeah.
How do people do that? How would a woman be able to get in touch with a Girl and a Gun chapter and come on out?
She would just go to agirlandagun.org. On our website, there's a map. It says find a chapter. You find the chapter nearest you. If there's not a chapter near you, you can still join our e-chapter. So we have thousands of videos and articles on how to shoot, gun safety, talking to your kids, communicating with your loved ones, carrying, competition. We have topics on we have over 1,000 articles and videos. So it's a really great resource. But if you have a local instructor, you can just go to Girls Night Out. The calendar's posted. Just show up.
Okay. Girl and a Gun 2025. What is it you've got in store?
We have something every month. It's pretty amazing. So our largest event is our national conference. We'll have over 750 women training on the range. So overall, we'll have about 1,000 people there with instructors and staff.
Is that in Austin?
That's in Colorado. We outgrew all the ranges in Texas.
What part of Colorado?
It's in Grand Junction at Cameo.
Oh, Grand Junction is beautiful.
It is beautiful, and they're really great to us out there. So we're the biggest event that happens at Cameo, and so we bring ladies to train, and we train on all things: pistols, rifles, shotguns, concealed carry. We do ground fighting. We do gunsmithing, archery. If you think it, we do it. We shoot from the ground, we shoot from the helicopter, we bring in the bird, the girls shoot. It's just the most amazing time to have all these women together. There's very few places, especially in this industry, where you go and find 1,000 gun girls gathered together that share this love of protecting and defending and sporting and learning. Yeah.
There's a lot of industries that are stereotypically men, right? The automotive industry. But we're starting to see in the automotive industry more and more women. The number of women involved in the auto industry is growing rapidly. Here at SHOT Show, we're starting to notice a rapid increase in women involved. Do you think A Girl and a Gun, do you think you played any kind of a part in that?
I think we did play a huge part in that, getting women off the sidelines, getting them involved. When we started, there were no women in advanced level classes. So I would go to a class and I'd be the only female there. And so it was my job not to bring the information to my members, but to say, come on, girls, let's go to these classes. Let's take these opportunities. We can do this. And so just creating that pathway, Pied Piper, bringing everybody along with us. And now we see not only more women in RSO roles and instructor roles, we see them as range managers, range owners. We see more women in marketing in the C-suite level. And it's so great to see those women in those levels. But when I first came to SHOT Show, I probably knew every woman that was here because we would have little women get together. And now I'm like, wow, there's lots of women. I don't know her. Who's that? What's she doing? It's just grown so much. It's really nice to see.
It's got to be very satisfying for you. What you've accomplished in 14 years.
I'm really proud of our organization.
You should be.
Thank you.
Robyn Sandoval, so good to have you here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a good time at SHOT Show.
Thank you.
All right. And we will be back here on SHOT Show TV.